unconstructed, unsuccessful, demolished, and forgotten buildings, structures, and architecture. You won't believe this. This is a New York apartment bridge design. This project is ambitious, even multi-ambitious. First, I'll show you the drawing. Look at the size of that bridge. It's even bigger when I explain how big it is. Now, the idea is to build a giant bridge and have people living on this bridge. The idea is to construct this bridge and then place buildings on this bridge so people could live on the bridge. People will be living in buildings on this bridge. It is calculated that this bridge can contain up to 60,000 people. So 60,000 people living in buildings on a giant bridge. This bridge can house a population of 60,000 people. The design was never implemented, and this drawing is all that's left of this incredibly ambitious idea. It's a very economical idea. But I guess people just don't have what it takes to want to live in buildings on a bridge. This is another futuristic utopian idea. Again, this is for New York. This is the Ellis Island design by Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright is dead. His idea was to convert an island into a utopian forest city. And this is what it would have looked like. This is Ellis Island, New York Harbor. I think this is from the 40s or 50s, I think, or 60s. Maybe early, I'm not sure. This was never built, but there was a comic book made about this. There was a comic book about this plan. This is the Garden City Island. Another unrealized project. It only made it into a comic book and not in real life. Another giant bridge design. This is the New York North River Bridge. Do you see this part here? This part alone, it was 60 meters tall. This bridge would have been placed on the north side. This bridge was so enormous, the road on the bridge was so wide, it could contain dozens of trains and a few motor cars. Horizontally, it could contain dozens of lines of trains. I think it was 8 or 12 lines of trains and I think 2 or 4 lines of motor cars or motor vehicles. So there was space for about 12 different lines of vehicles traveling on the same road, one next to another. Over 10 lines of vehicles traveling. This gigantic bridge was never built. I'm sorry about the person who came up with this. His idea never came true, like so many others like him. It seems that the best and the most absurd never get the chance to become the best and the most absurd. This is another New York design. This is a transportation design. This is the pneumonic elevated railway design. This was supposed to be the future. Instead of using cars or trains or horses or horse carriages or rally cars or train cars, the idea was to build a giant skeleton above the pedestrian walks and then put these cylindrical steam-powered tubes, these vacuum steam-powered tubes, and people could just travel from place to place, from street to street, from corner to corner, in these cylindrical tubes, which were vacuum powered or steam powered. They would just be blasted through this metal skeleton frame. This was the futuristic steam idea. The steampunk idea, the steampunk future that never came. This drawing is all that's left. Again, this is economical and brilliant. I guess people were just not interested. This is another... I have no idea what this is. Here is the signature of the author. You can't see it. It has an O. It says here... Italiano. This is an Italian design. I don't think this was ever built, because nothing like this exists today, and I don't think it existed in the past. This looks like some sort of imperial fortress or public library or some sort of ministerial building. I really like this one. I could have my headquarters in something like this. I like this. This is awesome. Whatever this is, I don't think this was ever built. And this drawing, it's all that's left of this possible architecture. This is another Gilded Age mansion drawing. I don't know what happened to this. I don't know if this was ever built. This is a nice looking mansion. This is the front side. It looks sort of like a hotel restaurant mansion. Like a bed and breakfast mansion. I like this one. It looks sort of like the Addams Family house. This is the Paris Exposition, France, 1900. This is the street leading to the exposition. Look at those golden statues. I'm not sure if they are golden statues, but they look like golden statues. Look at this. This looks like a scene from another world. All of these people here are dead, but do not worry. They will all be resurrected. I'm just not sure which resurrection there will be, the first one or the second one. The second one is absolute doom. All these people may be dead, but they shall live again. Just like all other dead people. All dead people will have a second chance, but it won't be a good one for everyone. It will be an eternally bad one for a lot of people. Here is the design of those cross plus X buildings I showed you. This was never built. This is actually in Manhattan, but the original project was not supposed to be in Manhattan. But this is how it would have looked like if it was built in real life or in Manhattan. This project was never realized. I'm not sure if the plastic model exists anymore. The pictures exist and the concept exists, but this never came to be. It certainly looks more unanimous compared to the other buildings around it. This is a design for a church building. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is the only church building design I like. Here is the cross in the form of windows. As that Gilded Age roof, Victorian style roof. I like this. This is the only church building I like. This is the only design for a church building I like. For some reason. This is another outlandish design for the future. What we are coming to. This is how people imagine the future of urban living. This building is absolutely gargantuan and humongous. It is so large it even has a train track running through it. With a train running through it. It looks like a giant tree house. This is something from Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door is another one of my favorite cartoons, although it has a lot of satanic symbolism in it. Look at that. It looks like a castle, mansion, city, building, treehouse. And the roof looks like a crown. I like this one. I like this. This is fantastically whimsical. This is another concept for a building that was never built. This is called the Temple of the Earth. 1901. This is the Temple of the Earth. 1901. It was never built. This is actually a square building. Very unusual, very interesting. A square box building. A cube building. I have another cube building design. This was never built. This drawing, it's all that's left of it.